Hello students, how do you do? Welcome to your biology class. Let us start with some recapitulation of the last lesson. The last class we read about, that is the parts of a cell. See, I have drawn a cell over here and let us see what are the parts of a cell, the basic components of a cell. First thing, that is the cell membrane. See this which I have drawn with the black. This is the cell membrane or the plasma membrane, which is the membrane which is covering the cell, right? So which is giving the shape to the cell, which allows the entry and exit of substances and also protects the inner content of the cell. So this is cell membrane and its function. Now in case of a plant cell, they have got the outer covering, a covering outer to the cell membrane, and that is called the cell wall. It is present only in plant cell. And see the yellow color structure which I have colored with yellow, so that is the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm, that is the jelly like substance which is present inside the cell, that is called the cytoplasm. And a structure, a spherical structure which I have drawn over here, that is called the nucleus, which is present at the center of the cell. Now these are the basic components of a cell. So what are the basic components of a cell? Cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus and cell wall in case of a plant cell. Now these are the basic components. Out of these basic components, already we have discussed about the cell membrane and the cytoplasm. Today we are going to start with, that is nucleus. Nucleus, the component of the cell which we are going to discuss. Even the plant cell wall also we have discussed. Let us see what is about the nucleus. Now, it is an important component of the living cell. It is generally spherical and located in the center of the cell. It can be stained and seen easily with the help of a microscope. Stained, that means it can be colored and it can be seen with the help of a microscope. Nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by a membrane called nuclear membrane. So nucleus also have got a membrane, and what is the name of it? That is nuclear membrane. This membrane is also porous and allows the movement of materials between the cytoplasm and inside of the nucleus. That is, from the nucleus it may move out of in the cytoplasm, or from the cytoplasm it may move inside, right? So nuclear membrane is also porous like the cell membrane. With a microscope of higher magnification, we can see a smaller spherical body in the nucleus. It is called nucleolus. So that is inside the nucleus is present inside the cell, and inside the nucleus a spherical body is there, that is called nucleolus. In addition, nucleus contains thread-like structures called chromosomes. So inside the nucleus there is nucleolus, a spherical structure, and they have got thread-like structures called chromosomes. These carry genes. So what carry genes? The chromosomes, the thread-like structures which are present inside the nucleus, they carry genes and help in inheritance or transfer of characters from the parents to the offspring. The chromosome can be seen only when the cell divides. So that chromosomes, which are thread-like structures present inside the nucleus, and it carry the genes. And these genes actually, these are presumed unit of heredity, and which carries the informations from one generation to the next generation. Inheritance or transfer of character, some features which are being transferred from one generation to the other. These are done by the genes which are present. Where the genes are present, these are present in the chromosomes. So one of the functions of the nucleus, that is it has got a role in inheritance of characters. Inheritance, that means it is a term you get heredity. Heredity, that means what? Passing of traits or features from one generation to the next generation. That is, some characteristics which are the characteristics which are passed on from one generation to the other. So that is one of the functions of the nucleus, because it carry the chromosomes inside this, and chromosomes carry the genes inside this. So it is actually helping it in this transfer of characteristics or features from one generation to the next. The apart from this, the entire content of a living cell, apart from this, that is the it is a control center of the activities of the cell. That means it is also called the brain of the cell. That means what it gives the instructions to the cell organelles, and accordingly it act. So this is the nucleus, helps in inheritance of characteristics. At the same time, it is helping in controlling the activities of the cell. Now one term you get, that is gene. Gene is a unit of inheritance in living organisms. It controls the transfer of hereditary characteristics from parents to offspring. So it controls the transfer of hereditary characteristics from parents to offsprings. Now let us see what is that. This means that your parents pass some of their characteristics on to you. That we look like our parents, they look like their parents. That means what? The features which are passing out from one generation to the other. If your father has brown eyes, you may also have brown eyes. If your mother has curly hair, you might also end up having curly hair. So there are similarities. We look like our parents look like their parents. So it is passing on from generation to generation. But are we the exact copies? Do we have the similarities? We have the dissimilarities also. So actually, and that's why it is so said, however, the different combination of genes from parents result in different characteristics. So we see that is, it is not always the exact copy, but there are some differences. So how it is being passed on from one generation to the other, it actually determines what type of features which will be seen in the offspring. Later on in higher classes, you are going to read about this. So today what we have learnt about, that is the parts of the nucleus. Let us see. See, which I have drawn over here, that is, watch carefully, a nucleus. I have made it bigger and I have drawn this one. See, I have marked this as 1, 2, 3, 4. It has the nucleus which is separated from the, see, only the nucleus I have drawn, not the boundary. If I draw this one, that means what? So if this is the cell membrane, inner to this nucleus, I have made it bigger, right? Now here you see, that is the nucleus which is, I have marked this 1. It has got a membrane. This part, this is the membrane, and this is I have marked as 1. This is called the nuclear membrane. This nuclear membrane actually separating it from the cytoplasm. This is the cytoplasm, and from here it is being separated by this membrane, which is called the nuclear membrane. And see, this nuclear membrane which is not continuous, it is ruptured. That means it has got the pores, here one, here one, here one. So these are, which I have drawn, the pores on it. The pores, these are called the nuclear pores. A dark spherical structure which is present inside the nucleus. I have just marked this as number 3. This one, which is called the number 3, that is called the nucleolus. And number 4, here you see this thread-like structures which I have drawn inside. So these are actually called the chromosomes. The chromosomes are present inside the nucleus, and which bears the chromosomes which bear the genes in it. Genes are presumed unit of heredity which carry the informations and passes it on from generation to generation. So this already which I have marked as, please see carefully so that I can show you what are these called. Once again, number 1, nuclear membrane, number 2, nuclear pore, number 3, nucleolus, and number 4, that is chromosome. Now let us see what are these. The parts of a nucleus. The membrane which separates it from the cytoplasm, this is called nuclear membrane. It has got the pores on the nuclear membrane. This is called nuclear pore, and it has got a spherical structure inside the nucleus, that is called nucleolus, and it has got the thread-like structures. These are called the chromosomes. Inside the chromosomes, what are present? These are called the genes. So what we have learned today, this is nucleus. Nucleus is the usually this is present at the center of the cell, and the parts of the nucleus, nuclear membrane, which is separating it from the cytoplasm. The nuclear membrane has got the pores on it. These are called nuclear pore, and it has got a spherical structure inside the nucleus, that is called nucleolus, and it has the thread-like structures which are present. These are called the chromosomes, and chromosomes bears the genes in it. Genes are presumed unit of heredity. So today up to this much. Thank you, children.